Hey guys, it's Lefty from 643 Productions coming at you here with another gameplay commentary, and today I'm going to be talking about the NCAA sanctions leveled against Penn State University in the Penn State football program. And you know what? They're not enough. Not even close. So get ready to hit that like button. Likes, favorites, and comments do help me out, and this video starts right now. $60 million forfeited, 4 years of not being able to appear in any bowl or conference championship games, the reduction of available football scholarships, and a 5-year probationary period are the crux of sanctions leveled by the NCAA against Penn State and the Penn State football program as fallout for Penn State and administrators and coaches' roles in the cover-up of the Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse scandal. And you know what? It's not enough. It's not nearly enough. And here's why. Penn State football needed a reset. Not just the organization that is football, not just Beaver Stadium, not just the actual football and the spring practices and the players and the actual games. That did not need a reboot as much as the culture did. The culture of Penn State, the culture surrounding Penn State football needed a forced reboot, and the NCAA was in a perfect position to give it just that. Because the culture, the blind faith that we see throughout all of sports and we see polarized in college athletics, the blind faith, the blind love of an organization, of a university, allowed for somebody like Joe Paterno, who, when you actually take a keen look at what was going on with the Joe Paterno's personal dealings with Jerry Sandusky's victim farm, the Second Mile, when you look at his personal dealings with them and how he was able to shimmy in on very, very favorable real estate deals that involved the university giving the Second Mile sway over land that was given to them at cost price by the university. Joe Paterno was making money hand over fist. He had a license to print money. Everybody talked about how Joe Paterno, he gave the money to build a library on campus. Joe Paterno had that in his shoe. That's how much money Joe Paterno was making from the Second Mile Foundation, and that's how the idiot kids that Joe Paterno fostered are now going to fund their own independent, quote, unbiased investigation of the Louis Freeh investigation. Yes, they are going to investigate an investigation. I don't know how that's going to work, but the culture allowed for Joe Paterno to do that. That allowed Joe Paterno to tell the president of the university to go stick it up his giggy when the president showed up to him 4 years ago saying, you know what, Joe, maybe it's time for you to step down. And Joe Paterno just looked at him and said, no. The culture allowed for that to happen. The culture allowed for the students to riot after Joe Paterno was fired, after it was announced that he at least had some role, or at least was very, very close to Jerry Sandusky and this whole child rape scandal. And that is the problem. That is what needed a reboot. Everybody was at fault here. It was not just, I saw some people on Twitter saying, how could you, the NCAA, punish the players, punish the fans? No, the players, and I'll get to the players in a bit, the players and the fans are exactly who needs to be punished. They need to be punished the most. Jerry Sandusky is in prison. Once he hits general population, you know what happens. It's not really that much of a stretch to find out what happens to child rapists when they hit general population in federal pound-me-in-the-ass prisons. Okay? We know what happens to those people. They don't last very long, and the same with Graham Spanier and Tim Curley. They are going to be indicted probably very shortly, and they are also going to go to prison, federal pound-me-in-the-ass prison, and they're probably not going to last much longer than Jerry Sandusky does. So they're going to get their day, and it's probably going to be brutal for them. But that is not enough. The individuals here are at fault, yes, but also the culture that fostered those individuals, the culture that made football just such a blind money-making scheme needs to be punished. It needs to be said that, no, Joe Paterno is a bad guy. Joe Paterno, and we see it still today. Look at the Penn State. Ask any Penn Stater that still loves Joe Paterno, the people that show up at that stupid fucking statue to take pictures with it before it was taken down. Ask any of those people, and they'll say, Joe Pa is a good people. These are the same kinds of people that will try to treat his role in the cover-up. And for those of you that don't know, if you didn't read the Louis Freeh report, Joe Paterno actively covered up the acts of Jerry Sandusky. He actively stopped people from going and reporting Jerry Sandusky's actions to the proper authorities. He actively stopped that. It wasn't, I just passed it along to somebody and they didn't do it. No, after meetings with Joe Paterno, people were swayed away from going to the authorities, so he had an active role in covering those things up. Now, the people that can look at that and still say and try to put it on a moral ledger and say, well, okay, he made that one mistake, but he did all these really good things too. No. That's not how it works. That is the culture at work. That is the culture that will still try to defend somebody who covered up child rape, rape of children, serial rape of children for the sake of a football program, for the sake of dollar bills. That is a bad, bad person. And the culture needs to be punished because the culture will still try to tell you that that man is a deity, that man deserves to be respected, that man deserves to have a statue put in front of Beaver Stadium. And it's an atrocity that there will be football played in Beaver Stadium come September. That is awful. That is what a slap in the face. Not only to right-thinking human beings like me, but to the victims. What are the victims going to think when the Penn Staters, when the loyal Penn State idiots line up in Nittanyville and they all have their Joe Pa signs? They all have Save Joe Pa. This one's for Joe Pa. Because you also know that they're going to play the victim. Penn State gets to play the victim. They get to go on and play football, and they also get to give this season that overarching narrative of, it's us against the world because our coach covered up serial child rape, and that wasn't cool because that coach was kind of cool, or we think that coach was really okay, and it should be okay that he covered up serial child rape, so it's us against the world, damn it. And they're going to do that. And that's an atrocity. That is a slap in the face to the victims of Jerry Sandusky. And I shame everybody in that culture. If you are a part of it, then shame on you. Go read a book. Go stop blindly throwing yourself at the feet of a football coach because he won a lot of football games. He covered up serial fucking child rape, you idiots. And shame on everybody that's a part of that culture, and also shame on the NCAA for not having the balls to put a stop to this, not having the balls to forcibly reboot that culture that is in dire need of one. I don't know where it's going to come from now, but it's probably never going to come now anyway. And anyway, guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to drop this video a like. Likes, favorites, and comments, and shares via Facebook and Twitter do help me out. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I am out.